Have you ever felt like you're too tired to make the right choice between several options, especially after a long series of decisions? Decision fatigue can lead to poor choices and irrational trade-offs. It refers to the deteriorating quality of our decisions after a long session of decision making. Too many decisions are depleting our willpower, which results in us making increasingly poor choices. As John Tony puts it, no matter how rational and high-minded you try to be, you can't keep on making decision after decision without paying a biological price. The term decision fatigue was initially coined by social psychologist Roy Baumeister. He explains that our ability to force ourselves to do difficult things, that is, applying self-control or self-discipline, draws upon a certain limited resource within us. And when we're forced to make tough decisions, it calls upon that same resource. So when our self-control runs low, we start to make poor choices. Some signs of decision fatigue include impulsivity, procrastination, indecision, and decision avoidance. And decision fatigue has a real impact on our lives. In a study looking at more than 1,000 parole hearing decisions made by judges in Israel, the most powerful factor as to whether the individual was granted parole or not was not the crime or the background. It was actually when the judge hearing the case had last taken a break, which is pretty shocking. Decision fatigue can impair our ability to make trade-offs. It can lead to impulse purchases. And sometimes our mental energy is so depleted that we completely avoid making a choice, which is called decision avoidance. Interestingly, poorer people are more prone to decision fatigue. Dean Spears from Princeton University explains that a trip to the supermarket induces more decision fatigue in the poor than in the rich because each purchase requires more mental trade-offs. By the time they reach the cash register, they'll have less willpower left to resist the Mars bars and Skittles. Not for nothing are these items called impulse purchases. As you've seen, decision fatigue is pretty bad. So how do you deal with it? First, reduce your number of daily decisions. Reserve your mental energy for important decisions and cut down the number of trivial decisions that you need to consider each day. For example, folks like Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, and Barack Obama have reduced their everyday clothing down to a couple of outfits so they can limit the number of decisions they make in a day. Second, make decisions in advance. If you know you will have to repeatedly make similar decisions throughout the course of the week, consolidate the decision-making process within a specific time frame. You can prepare all of your meals in advance on Sunday, or book activities in advance, or even block time in your calendar for work you know you want to get done. And finally, we need to change our mindset when it comes to willpower. Psychologist Carol Dweck found that decision fatigue primarily affects people who believe that willpower runs out quickly. In one of her studies, she writes that we find that people get fatigued or depleted after a taxing task only when they believe that willpower is a limited resource, but not when they believe it's not so limited. And remember, you don't have to make all of your decisions on your own. If you're feeling signs of decision fatigue and you have to make an important choice, you can ask friends or family or colleagues to help you navigate your options. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Squishy, squishy.